Hi YouTubers, it's your boy Bryce here. Do you need help building your credit? I'm about to give you 5 ways to help start building your credit right now. Before we get into these tips, please use that like button and subscribe to the channel. It'll mean a lot to me. Help your boy out. Alright, jumping right into it. First step, number 1. First step, obtain some type of credit line. For this video, we're just going to talk about secured credit cards, but unsecured credit cards, that's perfectly fine too. We're going to talk about secured credit card for this first one, as in obtaining a line of credit. So with secured credit cards, the way they work is you basically determine your credit limit. And by that I mean the bank's going to ask for a deposit. Most of the time this deposit is refundable. When you get that back, it varies bank to bank. It can be 3 months, 6 months, just whatever they decide, or whichever bank you choose to go with. Make sure you ask that in the beginning, that way you know up front. So with this deposit, that's going to be your credit limit, and you're going to want to make on-time payments every time. And to help with that, you're going to want to only buy what you were already going to buy with your cash. You don't want to spend that money on something that you weren't going to buy and put yourself inside a bad credit debt, because that's not what we're here to do. We're here to build credit, not break it. Never that. Remember, credit is king. You want to keep that crown on forever. So with the secured credit card, you want to make sure credit utilization is under 30%. So to keep it simple, I'm going to use $100 as, mathematical reasons, way easy to do. So let's say your credit limit is $100. So you want to keep it at $30 or below. I mean, honestly, the lower the better. But you never want to go over 30 whenever it's time for that bank to report your credit. Because when it's over 30, that's when it starts to negatively impact your score. And we don't, like I said, we don't want that. Make those payments and only use this credit card for what you're already going to buy. Do those steps and you'll be golden. Now, tip number 2 is going to be to become an authorized user. Now this tip can be a little bit tricky if you have no one around you with good credit, or no one that you know that has good credit, or they don't trust you or you don't trust them. But for those of you who have people that you know, preferably someone close to you, husband, wife, mother, father, brother, sister, a good friend, ask them, hey, can I become an authorized user on your account? It does not hurt your credit. I do not need the credit card. Remember that. Say, I do not need, nor do I want the credit card. I just need you to keep making those payments on time and keeping your credit utilization under 30%. If you can do that, I would love that, and I would love to be an authorized user on your account. Because remember, whenever you become an authorized user on someone else's account, you assume all of the credit history on that account. So if they miss a payment or have a late payment, then you now have a late payment on your record. So you don't want to get on someone's account who has a history of late payments, because now you have a history, or you know that in the future that they possibly might have one. You want to get on somebody, man, where their credit worthiness is A1. Now, this doesn't mean go interrogate people and interview people, but just do what you got to do to become an authorized user if possible. If not, if it's risky or sketchy, don't do it, because at the end of the day, you don't want to hurt your credit. You only want to build it. So just remember that. Just a little example how becoming an authorized user can help. I put my wife on one of my accounts, and the limit is only $1,000, so it's not like no major account. I put her on that. She had no credit, not zero. She had dash, no credit history ever. Went from dash to the high 700s within like a matter of months. Actually, maybe a month and a half even. That quick, because she assumed all of that account's credit history. I have no missed payments, no late payments on that. Made every payment on time, and it was under the 30%. So she got that, and now she has amazing credit for just being married to me. Whatever. That's how it goes. That's how it goes sometimes. I make people great. kind of make you great too. So just remember that. Become an authorized user, you get great credit. Sometimes you get good credit, but it's just about building the steps. Remember, credit is a process. Some people's process may be quicker only because they took advantage of learning steps and tools and just ways and had people around them earlier. Doesn't matter if you start now or later. It's just important that you start. So that's authorized users. Moving on to the next tip. Tip number 3, monitoring your credit. So you want to make sure that you're always looking at your credit. I mean always, not every day, day by day. If that's what you want to do, go ahead and do that. But just make sure at least once a week, once a month, something like that, you're keeping an eye on your credit. You don't want something to pop up on there when you're going to go get an auto loan or a business loan or that house loan that you did not know of. So you want to monitor your credit. And some good ways to monitor your credit is by going to annualcreditreport.com. Now, with annualcreditreport.com, you can get one free credit report from each of the 3 bureaus. So those 3 bureaus are TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. So with this, you can get 1 free credit report once a year. So once you use this, you gotta wait 365 days before you can get the next one. So make sure you use these wisely. Some people may tell you to do all 3 at once if you're a beginner, that way you know it's on your list. Or there may be some way that you might want to do it one and one. It's just however you do it, just make sure you do it wisely and you know what you're doing. Do your research, check it out first. But that's annualcreditreport.com. Try that out. Next, you can do my personal favorite, which is Credit Karma. Now, Credit Karma, it's my favorite, but there are some cons to it. One of those cons is that it's your Vantage report. Now, this is just something that they use using their model and their system to determine what your credit score may or may not look like. It may be higher or it may be lower, but it's a good gauge just to have on your day-by-day basis. And Credit Karma does like daily reports, weekly reports, and monthly reports, just based on how they get their stuff reported to them when they pull it. So Credit Karma, great. I love it. It's my favorite. But like I said, it's not your accurate score, but it's pretty darn close. Another way, which is more of an accurate way, but it's more expensive as well, is myFico. Now myFico, this is what most creditors use. Actually, not myFico, but FICO, the Fair Isaac. They use this as their source of looking at your credit. So myFico will actually have in more detail ways of showing you, such as they'll have like a FICO score for your auto loans, like house loans, personal loans, and credit cards, and they'll have a separate score for each one of those. It's way more detail, but like I said, for more detail, it's going to be more money, so you're actually going to have to pay for it. But it's definitely worth it, and you should definitely check it out. myFico. Some other ways are actually going to those 3 credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Actually go to their website, and they'll have their own credit checking tools on there, or credit checking services on there. You have to pay for those as well. All of those, I believe, I know TransUnion for sure, you have to pay. I utilize it once. It's pretty good. Use those if you want. To be honest with you, I use that once. I don't use it. I use Credit Karma and myFico when necessary. Another way is if you already have a credit card, or maybe your bank might just do this in general, even with the checkings. But I know for sure most banks, if you have a credit card with them, they will give you free credit reports, free credit monitoring, excuse me. So utilize that. If so, call your bank up, look on your app, on their website. You'll be able to find that real quick if they have it. So that's enough of that. So moving on to that tip number 4. Never miss a payment, ever. You never want to do that. Missing a payment can hurt your credit score so dramatically that you just want to make sure that you're at least making a minimum payment every single time. You know, like I said before, you want to pay it off, But if you can't, make that minimum payment, because this can hurt you now and later, and you just don't want to deal with that pain and agony of trying to get it off your credit report, or just any of that. But since I said that, if you do have a late payment or a missed payment, you can ask for it to be removed. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but you can call your bank after you made some more payments on time for a while, and you can say, hey, I messed up, slipped up. Can you take this off for me, please, and thank you? And they may say yes, they may say no. It's worth trying if you have a late payment, but if you don't miss a payment, then guess what? You don't have to worry about that. Another way to avoid a missed payment or a late payment if you don't have the money is to call the bank and say, hey, I cannot make this next payment. Is there anything that I can do? They may say, hey, pay this little amount if you can afford that, or they may just delay your payment. This can sometimes cancel benefits or raise your interest rate or something like that, but it's better than having that late payment. Because most, if not all, if you have that late payment, late payment fees, interest rates can actually go up, lose benefits, so you don't want that. Don't miss payments. Set up that automatic payment for paid in full or minimum payments. Whatever you gotta do to make sure you don't miss that payment. Can't stress that enough. We're trying to build that credit, not break it. Alright. So, for my last tip of the video is going to be obtain a loan. More specifically, we're going to talk about credit building loans and secured loans. We're going to make sure that you get a loan. So what you're going to want to do is call your bank and say, hey, I'm trying to build credit. What loans do you have that can help me, that interest me? And they're probably going to say, we have a secured loan, or we have this loan with low interest rates. Can this work for you? If it does, say yes. Now with a secured loan, it's kind of like the secured credit card, you're going to have to supply some funds up front, and you're probably going to get that back, or it's just going to go towards the loan. Most likely it's going to go towards the loan. That only makes sense. Or they're going to ask you to put a collateral asset, so maybe something like your car or something of importance that's worth money. Something with value that you have. They want to ask for that, and if you default on the loan, then they're going to take it away. So if you can stay away from putting up something of value like that, stay away from that, because you don't want to lose anything in the process of building your credit. That's never the option that you want. I mean, the goal is to really, like I always say, to build your credit and to not lose anything. So to keep moving, get that secured loan. Now some of you might say, why would I get the secured loan or a loan instead of just getting a credit card, because I can just use that money for stuff that I need? The reason for this is a lot of creditors and banks, whenever you go get a bigger loan, like a business loan or a home loan, they want to see a diverse credit background. They want to see that you have more than just credit cards, so you can prove your credit worthiness, that you know what you're doing and you're proven you have a good track history. So that's why a secured loan can help. Also, you might not have the want to get a secured credit card. You may want to jump straight into the unsecured credit card. So with that, a loan can help you out, because it can already build your credit, show that, hey, I am capable of paying money back because I've took on the responsibility of a loan before. So now I can get this unsecured credit card with a bigger limit. That's another reason why you might want to get a loan first. Or you just might not even want a credit card. You might just want to build credit and just get that money, put it inside of your savings account, and just let it take out like that. A little tip for when you get a loan and you're using that as your credit building source, put that money into a high yield interest savings account such as Ally. I'm not sponsored by Ally, but hey man, their deal is amazing. They have a savings account that yields 2.20% on what you have inside of it. Some of you may be like, 2%, that's nothing. Go to your savings account right now and look at how much you're making off of it. It's probably like 0.003, nothing. pennies. So definitely check out Ally or any other bank. Maybe your bank has that option and you don't even know it. But that 2% can actually help you save money. And if you magically find some type of loan where it's 0%, you're actually going to make money off of this loan. So now you're an investor. How does that sound? No. But you can save money just by borrowing somebody else's money and build your credit. That's just a little tip that I've learned from another YouTuber. Just remember, whatever you choose, choose wisely. This loan can improve your odds of future loans and future credit cards. So just choose a loan wisely. Don't just jump into the first loan you see. Do your research. Look around. Ask your bank. Go to a financial advisor. Your bank has one. Hopefully, ask them. Here's an honorary mention tip. Do your research. Don't just listen to me or your favorite YouTuber. Make sure you look at the pros and cons of any decision that you're going to make. Because just jumping in anything, you're bound to waste your time at one point. Because you're not going to know all the details. You're going to waste your time and hopefully not your money, but it's bound to happen if you don't look at everything. So I know a lot of you don't read the terms and agreements. I mean, I say a lot of you, I don't read all the terms and agreements. I'm just now starting to get into that, and it's hard. It's hard to understand it. But at least do all the research you can. Look at different YouTubers, different articles, different videos in general about what you want, and make sure it's the right option. Utilize financial advisors, like I said before. Just make sure you utilize any and every avenue you can to get the right information. I can't stress that enough. And that's it. That's the 5 tips. If you want to leave me some comments, ask any questions about anything I said, do so down below. I will get to it. Make sure you like and subscribe to the video. If you want to see more videos, like and subscribe. Put down in the comments, hey, I want to see this. Let me know if you like it. Let me know what you don't like. I'm trying to grow, man. So whatever you got, help me. I'm here to help you as well. Thank you.